Transformer time. Not many of them, but enough to start breaking them down. I went ahead and checked to see if there was any double aluminum coil ones, and I found found two of them. These two back here, double aluminum. So we're not going to break those down. It's not worth it. So. First one's being tough. Good weld on this one. Or it may be one of those. Oh, I see. Yep. It's one of those ones. You'll see the different shape. It's shaped like an E instead of an L. The way it's connected in here. So these are always a little tougher. See the E? The E shape. They connect down in between both of those coils. So yeah, they are a little tougher to get apart. And usually they're double aluminum, but I think this is one aluminum and one copper. But yeah, I'll show you the difference in a second. See, that copper one's going to come right off because for whatever reason the copper ones come off easy. It doesn't matter which way we go on this. It doesn't have a top or a bottom. They can go out either way. And get my snippers. So if you've done these enough, you can tell by the weight that one is aluminum. And this one, which is a smaller coil, weighs about twice as much, so we know it's copper. Okay. Let's move on to another interesting one. Oh, no, it is a double coil. I thought it was a triple coil. Let's see. Here we got the L. E, L. So when it's an L-shaped one, you have one end where it holds the coils on with the lip right there. The other end will come off. This one wants to slide right out. I don't know if it's because it's the warm weather heating these up, but it should be a copper coil if it's coming out that easy. Yep, it is. Another copper coil there. And the other one's sliding off easy, but I believe it's aluminum just by the color. Yep, and the weight. Usually with that yellow color, not always, that yellowish color is usually aluminum coils. So There's that core, it's a T-piece. You can see how this fits together like that. See? Oh wait. Oh, it goes like that. And the coil fits in between there. So anyhow, let's move on to the next one. Okay, so the ones that have this little piece right here, let me show you how I get these off. Very simple. Hang it off the edge. Hang it off of a ledge. And just simply hit the top of it. I'm trying to get the angle. You can see, there we go. So just hit the top of it right there with the flat side of your hammer. Shears that little bolt right off. This one will pull out. Never thought this would work until my buddy, y'all probably know him, Project Shop, showed me on one of his videos. Just whack it real good. Kind of get it down a little. There you go. Boom. One shot. And you got it out, and that bolt pulls out the other side. No matter how bent up it is, it's always going to be straight inside of there. Because I used to try to unscrew them. I'm like, what the heck? Because it would like a fucking helicopter. And yeah, so thank you, Project Shop, for showing us the easy way to get those off. So here's my trusty pain giver 3-pound hammer with the sledge end, 3-pounder. And you just whack it right behind that weld. Again, there's 2 welds on here. You go across like that. You want to hit anywhere behind them. Not toward the middle, but behind it, toward the edges. And you've also got the other side with welds, but that's a smaller spot. You know, I'm not a sharpshooter here, so I'm trying to get as much real estate as I can to hit at so I don't miss. I do recommend wearing eye protection because stuff kicks up a lot of dust, a lot of shards or whatever the hell that is, especially when it's dry out and warm. It's got extra dust. You could also wear a respirator, but I'm not indoors, I'm outside, the wind's blowing, so I don't know why. Is it just me, or am I doing a respirator wrong? I can't ever breathe in it. I guess I just got a cheap one. I feel like I'm gonna pass out every time I have one on. That little core piece out. Let's see if these will slide off like the other ones have been doing. Oh yeah. Let's cut that. There's always a piece of wire connecting the two. Try to cut that loose so it'll fall right off. Basically, if you just slam it down, they'll try to wiggle right off of there. If it doesn't, just give it a little love tap. There we go. That's a nice copper big coil. And another copper coil, so that one's double copper. That's a good one right there. Probably about 5 pounds, maybe 5.5 on these 1,000 waters. If you happen to get some 1,500 waters, most of the ones you're going to come across are going to be aluminum, or at least one aluminum, one copper. But I had a nice store a couple months ago. Local baseball field, changed out every one of their lights after a tornado came through. one of those big tornadoes that ripped through Nashville. Took down most of their lights, so they went ahead and said, we're going to change over to LEDs, which the LEDs on a baseball field now are awesome. They are so bright, and you can focus the light instead of it spreading out everywhere. You can just focus it in. I really want to figure out what ballparks around haven't changed them and get with the people who will change them, especially like professional ball fields. A lot of them are changing over to LEDs quicker than we can, say LED. And you know how many lights are in a professional stadium? Okay, high school has, I don't know, it's at least 50 or 60 lights to light a stadium properly, or a field. And then you go up to college. College is like 80 to 100. But when you're in professional, when you have to have the, broadcast has to have a lot of lighting, especially at night, they get up to like 200, 300s, maybe even 400 lights for a field, if I'm not mistaken. So it gets kind of crazy how many lights they have. And who knows how many other lights that they may be changing out to LEDs too that aren't just those. So that would be really cool to get in with whatever company does that. I know the big field downtown, what is it called? Nissan Stadium, they've already changed theirs out, but their parking lot lights are 1,500 watts, and there's 8 lights on each pole. And there's 50 or 60 poles, you do the math, Would love to get with the company who's going to change those, because they will eventually. All these places are getting rid of the mercury vapor, sodium vapor to the LEDs. So transformers aren't going to be around forever. They're a lost, dying breed. So we got to capture them while we can, and maximize our earnings here. Because everybody's going to change over to LED. That's the future, Who knows what's going to replace LEDs, but I know there's not a lot of money in the LEDs. I'll take them. And the weird thing is my contractors are starting to get jobs where they're changing out LED lights because they only last a couple years. They're supposed to last a whole lot longer than that, I would think, but apparently that's how they're going to make their money, is that they make them only last a couple years, make them a little cheaper. In the long run, they're going to get more money. But yeah, I've had more loads of LED lights coming in lately. It's just strange, I remember when I was a kid, tell me if y'all remember, they still have them. But the street lights, every street light used to be the orange sodium vapor. It reminded me of childhood when I drive through a town at night and see them. Because that's, I used to travel a lot, and I used to see those at night. And my town still has some, but they've been changing them out to LEDs, and now it's this bright white light. It just looks so much different at night, when you drive through a town that's got the old sodium vapor. See, the mercury vapor old style lights are a bluish color or a white. But I think it's the sodium vapor that's the orange. But yeah, something just brings back memories of childhood, because now they're going away. Let's get this. This is a triple coil. 1, 2, 3. Most of the time it's aluminum, copper, copper. We'll see if that holds true. Let's get in here and get this single aluminum coil off. Bend it out, cut the wire. Aluminum, trash. Not really trash, but not worth nearly as much as these copper ones. Hard to tell on camera, but that's copper. Wish I had my file with me. Copper. And the other one's copper too. See how much easier they come off of there? don't know why, I just love breaking these down. It's fun to me. They are heavy, but it is fun. Stress relief. Knock that little core out. Just turn your hammer sideways. Turn your transformer sideways. If you can't get it out, just do that and pop it out. So at my yard, you can turn these in the way they are without breaking them down. And I get electric motor price. One yard's 10 cents, the other is 24 cents. So, you know, do some asking around and see which one pays more if you don't want to break them down. But there's also other yards that I do not go to. They're more towards the downtown area. They pay way less. Like 8 cents a pound if they're copper and 4 cents if they're aluminum. Kind of crazy. These are definitely worth more than that. A lot more. Damn, that one don't want to come out. Almost got it. That one was really tight. And the aluminum on the bottom, I really don't want to waste my time with that. I might cut it off of there later. They don't like to come out, especially if they're that bottom coil. I think this is the same type. These are really on there. Yep. Aluminum. What do we got here? Aluminum. Double aluminum. Yep. Okay, and the last one. I think this one's gonna be double copper. Maybe not. Can't tell. No, double copper. This is one that's like 6 pounds of copper, I think. It's got a stacked coil, and it's almost like a triple coil, but it's like a stacked. I'll show you. Come across all different types. Most of these were 1,000 watters, but those 400 watters right there happen to be the all aluminum. It's rare that I see double aluminum 1,000 watters, but they do exist, I believe. Just don't see them often. Most of the time it says 400s. And a lot of times those little ones like the 175s or the 250s, they're usually copper. Let's see if this one slides off easy. Fix those edges. Those edges get really sharp and hang up. So I try to smack them down if I can. Let's see if we can get this sucker to slide out. Yeah. Turn her up sideways. Hammer right out the back. Oh yeah. See, this is like the stacked style right there on top of another, kinda. It's just separated for some reason. But let's see. We got a mountain of steel. Let's see how much copper we got. I'll go off a rough estimate. Those two together is about 4 pounds. These are about 6. It's 10, 15, 20, 24 pounds of copper out of that. At the last time I saw this kind, I get, some people get number 2, but they usually have to clean it up. So I've seen some people not clean it up and get number 2. I get what's called number 3 electric motor copper. There's 2 types of number 3 at my yard. Number 3 that has like steel and extra stuff on it, that's no bueno. It's way less than number 3 electric motor, but a number 3 electric motor's got the tar on it, the tape, the paper, and it's quite a bit higher than number 3 copper itself. So number 3 electric motor copper. Watch your tickets, because they screwed up one day on accident and put in number 3 copper, and I had 200, 300 pounds of this stuff. And number 3 copper is like $1.50 a pound, and number 3 electric motor is $3 a pound. So yes, I lost out on half of my money. Luckily, I saw it right as I was leaving, so I turned my ass around and came and made sure the weighmaster, the guy who's on the scale, I made sure he knew what happened. And he was like, yeah, I just realized that as you were driving off. And he changed it, and I got the money I was owed. So always check your tickets. I've made a few videos on that. But better to be safe, check your tickets, than be sorry. So that was breaking down some 1,000-watt transformers and 400s, but most of them were those. And got a little bit of aluminum out of it, not much, maybe 2-3 pounds, 30 cents a pound, you know, about $1.50, something like that. But yeah, That was a quick 80 to 90 bucks plus the steel. Close to 100 bucks maybe. Maybe a little short of that. And it took us 25 minutes. So awesome. See if we can make another video here shortly. And we'll see you soon. Peace.